I can't imagine the hospitality for someone to offer up their home and their land to let someone else hunt on it, and let alone 20 guys and the guides and provide food and shelter. And man, it's just the best thing ever, and it's great. I've attempted to hunt for the last 2 years, and for one reason or another, was not successful. My wife always ribs me and kind of jokes that, hey, the freezer's not going to fill itself, buddy, and she actually texted me last night, and she said, hey, some of the wives are talking about their husbands got some deer. You better be one of them. And I just pretend I never got that text, I was like, oh, I'm going to wait until I actually get one and I'll respond.
It was 2 years ago when Gabriel Wander decided he wanted to kill a big white-tailed buck. He just never realized how difficult that would become. Hunting guide Bo Davis has promised Gabe that the Rockin' Chair Ranch has a way with ending dry spells. So many combat veterans have come here with Show of Support Hunt for Heroes over the years to fulfill a similar dream.
Definitely excited. I had not been able to hunt before or shoot a deer before in hunting attempts. So just seeing that there was a deer there and putting some trust in my guide, who assured me that don't worry, they're going to come. Next thing I knew, there was a buck real close to the blind. I felt like I could throw a rock at him, and I was really excited just to see something with horns. I was like, oh, 8-pointer, this is awesome. It was just pretty great seeing him that close, and just seeing that what I thought was a trophy buck was actually a small deer. Then we saw this really big buck. What I didn't know was a breeder buck at the time. I had never heard that phrase, breeder buck. So I saw this huge buck come by, and I grabbed my guide's shoulders like, oh wow, this is awesome, let me get this one. And he just kind of giggles, assuming that I knew what it was. And I start lifting up my weapon to actually take a shot, and he was like, what are you doing? You can't shoot that. And I was like, why? Well, it's a breeder buck. No, it's not. How do you know? We had this little conversation back and forth, and I finally believed him that it was actually a breeder buck, and he explained to me what it was and why I should not or could not shoot it. They use those, what I learned, to basically breed these amazing other bucks that we could shoot. So I stared at him and also realized that I probably had no place in my house to put something that large, and so I was content to just kind of watch him a little bit. So we're sitting there in the blind scanning our field, and my heart's racing. I can almost hear my heart, beating. And again, everything's really silent, and the camera guy just starts going crazy. So we quickly realized that he got stung by a wasp, and the wasp was still there in the blind. And so we all just end up jumping and swatting and trying to get rid of this thing. After we make this big ruckus in the blind, we look back outside, and lo and behold, this large breeder buck, he still is there, not spooked, not even caring about anything, just kind of maybe even knowing that he was off limits. It was awesome. As we're staring at the breeder buck, just kind of watching all the deer eat and such, and hoping that another deer would be brave enough to come around that breeder buck, a 9-point came around the corner. Almost immediately, the breeder buck challenged him and chased him off. I think we had a good maybe 20 to 40 seconds or maybe even a minute worth to try to make a decision if we liked it or not, but there was pretty much no time to take a shot because that breeder buck was not wanting to share his does or space with this other buck.
We waited and hoped, and he just never came back. But I was up all night thinking about that guy, and Bo said that he most likely will come back to that spot in the morning, and so if it was up, if I wanted to go try the same spot again.
Awesome, dude.
This is crazy.
It'll be a long night for Gabe back at Camp Freedom, where the celebrations have started for so many who have taken their first whitetail ever. Seems there's a lot of firsts on this trip. Starting with the night they first arrived in West Texas.
Weather's been bad up north, so we got delayed flights and about an hour and a half behind schedule, but they're here now, so we're fixing to shake some hands. Terry Johnson.
Hey, Gabe Wander, how you doing?
Appreciate
My wife,
you.
Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Nice to meet you.
How you doing? Gabe Wander. Welcome.
Nice to meet you. Welcome to Midland.
I'm Terry Johnson, and you're here in my hometown, Midland. So thanks for coming. Thanks for taking us up on our offer and our invitation. We got a lot of fun things in store for you. We're going to let you have a little downtime, but not tonight.
The final count here at the Midland Airport will be 25 combat veteran deer hunters and their wives, about to be embraced by an entire city.
Gabriel Wander and Sarah.
Coming down the escalator, at least for myself, I was pretty nervous. We were all smiles because we couldn't believe we were actually there. We were gripping each other's hands pretty tightly, Sarah and I, and it was a tearful smile almost, just seeing how crowded this airport was and the patriotism and love that this whole town of Midland was showing us. And it's not something you see or feel or come by very much these days.
Gabe and Sarah, like so many of the heroes, are overwhelmed. There isn't another deer hunt in America that begins like this one does. As the massive convoy drives off into the West Texas night, we know some heroes who are about to be swept off their feet as Show of Support Hunt for Heroes continues.
We're not politically correct, we just have common sense.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unfaltering. Show of Support's Hunt for Heroes offers tributes and true stories of remarkable courage.
If these terrorists could come in your bedroom, they'd kill you, your wife, and your kids. And that's what these men are fighting to protect us from, these murdering idiots. And they're taking them out so that we don't have to deal with them over here.
Show of Support started it all just after the shock and awe bound a nation together. Now, years of footage portraying wounded veterans, deer stands, and standing ovations. Hunt for Heroes, that started as one man's way to say thanks, is now a series that many say is way overdue.
I ain't never felt like that before, and I want to feel that again.
It's just a raw emotion.
They left us being loved and being honored for the heroes that they are.
We still have 40,000 injured troops.
If you threaten our people and our way of life, we will find you wherever you may be hiding, in the place you feel most safe, and we'll kill you in your own bedroom. Thank you for being a country worth fighting for. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
It's going to take a while to get around to all of them, but there's no quitting. It'll never stop as long as I'm breathing.
Character, commitment, leadership. It's a way of life for those who've worn the uniform. At Pioneer Natural Resources, we welcome those qualities. Veterans are a great fit at Pioneer, a company that values family, character, and a job well done.
One of the differences about Pioneer is it's a company that wants to hire veterans and wants to show support for the service that they've done for our country.
Contact Pioneer Natural Resources today.
I was 17 when I joined. I didn't really know what college was all about. Both of my grandfathers had been in the military. I was training at Fort Bragg for my second deployment, and part of that training included a parachute jump. And at about 40 or 50 feet, two of us got caught in this prevailing side wind. I remember thinking, oh God, this is going to hurt. By that time, I just accelerated my descent and I hit the ground. I knew something was bad right away because of all the pain, but I managed to get back to my knees and I separated my pelvis, and so I started bleeding immediately. I thought I was dead. I thought I was done, like I was not going to wake up from everything going black. So I was trying to keep vision, cognizance, keep everything going.
They told me we were heading to the Vietnam War Memorial, and I had no idea what was in store for us.
So many of the men and women who arrive in Midland for the Show of Support Hunt for Heroes share a common pain and fear and lingering memories of war. This is supposed to be a deer hunt, but it turns into so much more.
I felt pretty small to be in the presence of men, soldiers, Marines who have given their all for me to actually be there today. My grandfather, he's a World War II veteran, 92 years old, and he stays with my father in Houston, Texas. So when they heard I was going to be somewhere in Texas, they pulled all stops to try to get out there. And as proud as I am of my grandfather, he's doubly proud of me.
Hey gang, good morning. I'm a Vietnam vet. I was with the Navy Special Forces. I rode river patrol boats in the Rungset Special Zone of the Mekong Delta. I made 220 combat patrols. I survived 20 ambushes, firefights. The only reason I tell y'all that, I ain't pat myself on the back, I just want y'all to know that I know what it's like to be up your ass in crocodiles.
What's become an impromptu family reunion for Gabe and Sarah Wander is about to turn into an emotional look back into the past. Vietnam veteran Bill McNeil bears his soul every year.
There's 225 boys' names over there. A lot of them my classmates, one of them a very close, good friend. Curtis McKinney was in the 101st Airborne. Combat medic killed in the Ashaw Valley on October the 5th, 1968, evacuating the wounded. We built this memorial so them boys would never be forgotten.
But even after so many of these groups, even this combat-hardened veteran can't hold back his emotions.
Our statues over there, 3 guys in the helicopter coming in to pick them up from the dust off. If you look close, the one boy that's looking back, his eyes are looking right directly at the 225 that can't go with him.
I felt like we were on hollowed ground.
Look around, enjoy.
I could almost feel the presence of all those men who gave all, and names were on the wall. That was amazing. It was humbling.
Thank you very much. God bless every one of you.
deep in the legendary brush country of South Texas. The best whitetail hunting in the world is found at Double J Ranches.
Look at the mass on that deer.
Our tower blinds and veteran guides will help you find the buck that up until now are the stuff of dreams. The Double J Ranch Lodge is a place of luxury surrounded by the thick brush and the lure of trophy whitetails. Go to our website, Double J Ranches. What hunting in South Texas was meant to be.
They've been calling us heroes all week, you know, and it's very humbling to be talked about or looked at like that, or have 1,000 people line up to shake your hand.
All right, everybody gonna sit tall and proud.
The Horseshoe Arena in Midland, Texas. 25 combat veterans and their wives are about to face the biggest tribute yet. As Gabe and Sarah Wander process all this, thousands of patriotic people from West Texas fill the Coliseum. Organizer and show support founder Terry Johnson never takes this gathering lightly.
You put on hold your lives, your hobbies, your interests, friends, family, and any and all future plans to take the battle to the enemy and put these sorry idiots in their place. Yeah.
I remember thinking people dressed up, people put on their Sunday best almost to come out just for us and to see us. It was incredible.
Then comes the moment that Gabe and Sarah will never forget.
Okay, our next warrior is Major Gabriel Wander, United States Army, listed as a combat medic. His spouse Sarah is with us. He was deployed to the Horn of Africa twice, Iraq once, and to Afghanistan twice.
Going up on stage, I won't lie, I was very nervous. I just remember seeing the lights and squeezing my wife's hand. I don't consider myself a hero or anything like that. I do my job, and I'm humbled and proud to be able to do it. It was something that I've never experienced before.
Now, the rifle sponsor is going to be Basic Energy Emergency Physicians and the Medical Center Hospital.
In an evening of overwhelming love, immeasurable gratitude, the greatest honor of all for Gabe Wander was the tribute given to his 92-year-old granddad.
I remember he told me afterwards when he stood up and the room exploded in applause. It was a special moment. We got up early the next morning. While it might seem sad that we're leaving each other for a few days, I was happy to go hunting with the guys, and she was happy to hang out with the girls, and we knew we'd see each other again in a few days.
Well, welcome to West Texas, guys. This is... You're now on the Rockin' Chair Ranch. You're in the Concho Valley area of San Angelo. This is where this thing started 11 years ago.
It was like Christmas in November. It was incredible. Every time you turned around, there was another duffel bag with your name on it, and it was great.
Gabe's sentiment is shared by all the heroes now scrambling to get their gear together to leave for the hunting blind.
I was nervous. I was real nervous. I didn't want to disappoint. Well, for one, my wife, who gave me a nice rib check and told me I better not come back without any meat. But it was pretty exciting to be finally going out there to start hunting.
It's a well-known fact the people of West Texas know the importance of hard work, determination, and drive. For years, TCO Field Services has been a part of the expanding petroleum industry. Another well-known fact is the admiration West Texans have for America's troops. Plain and simple, military heroes don't have a better friend than the hard-working folks in West Texas. At TCO, we never lose sight of the job done by our military, keeping us safe here in West Texas.
Smith Industries is a huge manufacturer of oil field storage tanks and heater treaters. With a massive inventory and a fleet of 8 knuckle boom crane trucks, Smith Industries can produce, deliver, and set quickly and safely. When the oil field needs tanks, Smith Industries is there. Smith Industries, Midland, Texas.
Military heroes don't have a better friend than the hardworking folks in West Texas. At TCO, we never lose sight of the job done by our military.
Red eye. Let's do this.
Gabriel Wander has been carrying around the haunting memory of a 9-point buck that got spooked.
We only saw him for like a minute or two yesterday, but that image was burned in my head, and I thought about him all night. And I was kind of vigilant this morning because I was hoping he'd show up and he'd be there long enough before he got ran off again.
Gabe is one of those people who's always wanted to try deer hunting, but found it hard living way up north, just outside Seattle, Washington. He's about to find out that incredible excitement from your first deer hunt is not lost with age. It's like he's a kid again, juggling nervousness and joy, balancing hope and impatience. Several deer drift into the area as daylight, muted by the clouds, slowly emerges over the pasture. Then, something catches Bo's attention.
Same place he came out from yesterday. And yeah, right away I was like, that's him, that's him. He was chasing a doe off to the right, and so I was following him and following the doe, and then I followed the doe and I went back and I couldn't see him, and I got panicked, or not really panicked, I kind of got apprehensive for a second and was like, I can't see him. He was hiding behind there and I was just waiting. My heart rate, you know, I felt it in the 120s, 140s before, and it was pretty close to that.
You seem to be just staying there forever, and I thought that I was going to be staying there forever waiting for him to come out, or that he might not ever come out. So the buck barely stepped out finally from behind that mesquite, and I narrowed in and was overjoyed, but also very nervous because I knew I'd be taking a shot soon once I saw that my target area was actually not obscured by anything.
Bo Davis struggles with the decision of holding Gabe off, hoping the deer takes one more step. The longer this buck stands there, the more Bo thinks about all Gabe has done for this country and how long this man has dreamed of going deer hunting. Bo tells Gabe, find a hole and kill him now.
Couldn't tell. It sounded like it hit. You feel good? I was straight on him. Right on him? Okay, we'll wait a couple minutes.
It was really confusing for me. So I've shot plenty of times before in general, and I know I'm a good shot. So, you know, when I pulled that trigger, I was like, I know where I aimed, and, you know, and so I was like, Was the scope correct? Was he too close? Did I hit underneath him, you know? And so, you know, that adrenaline was still there, but it was a disappointing adrenaline, you know, while we were wondering if we hit him or not.
Gabe's also about to find out that deer hunting can take you from your highest highs to your lowest lows. The silence of this morning, mixed with the uncertainty of fate, has him struggling with a mixture of regret and optimism.
There it is.
Where?
Right there.
Yes! Yes! Awesome! That is awesome. Yes.
I was ecstatic. I knew I had finally shot my first deer, and it was an indescribable feeling.
Heck yeah. All right, let's head this way. He should have ran right in here.
I thought it would feel more like Indians tracking, you know, and looking at broken branches and stuff, but really it was just kind of walking in the general direction. You know, we just kind of walked like 20, 30 yards or so and spotted him under a tree. It was awesome.
There he is, right there. Right there. Yes, God. Yes. Oh, man. Look at that. That is a sweet deer. Look how tall he is. Look at how tall he is. Yeah, look, I mean, you just shot right through him.
When I finally reached the deer and saw him lying there, I was in heaven. It was great. It was my first time I shot a deer, and I couldn't believe it was actually happening.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Just the feeling of being that appreciated is a feeling I'll never forget.
One, yeah. When we got back to the camp and I shook Terry's hand, it meant the world to me. What him and his crew did for us, it was something that I'll never forget.